welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. This is the post-game show. The Miami Heat lost to the Los Angeles Lakers 117-108 in Los Angeles to end their West Coast road trip. And this one hurts. I hate the Lakers more than any team across any sport. And I love it when the Lakers lose, and I love it when the Miami Heat specifically beat the Lakers. A lot of my friends are Laker fans, so I like to talk shit on them whenever the Heat win. And luckily, earlier this season, we saw that the Miami Heat beat the Lakers by 40 points, which was amazing. Tyler Herro had 30-plus points and dominated. Tyler Herro dominated again tonight, but had no help. And I was one of those Miami Heat fans that was thinking, Tyler's playing really well, obviously, through all the turmoil, through Bam's regression, through Terry Rozier, which we'll get into, who's atrocious, through the mistakes that Spo has been making throughout the season, and just through all the adversity. And I was like, sometimes these hero games are not leading to victories, and his good play is not leading to victories. And that is not his fault, because Tyler Herro was dominating, especially in this first quarter, especially in this first half. But overall, he was spectacular, and he's been a breath of fresh air this season so far. He's played every single game after Pat Riley called him out for being fragile, and he's played every single game. He's been in the gym, he's been in the lab, he's been improving, getting better, and he's the focal point on this offensive team, and he's getting blitzed and double teamed all the time, every single game, guarded by the opposing team's best defender every single game, and he's still putting up numbers. Like, again, in the past, when he was inconsistent, that was one of his biggest issues, was inconsistency and availability. So he's been available and he's been consistent. There were times last season, where he would have a 22-point game, a 25-point game, and then he would have like an 8-point game and a 12-point game, and then a 14-point game, and then maybe like a 25-point game, and then like a 12-point game, and then an 8-point game. And not this season. Like, a bad game for Tyler Herro now is like 15 or 16 points on efficient shooting with 5, 6, 7 assists or 5, 6 rebounds. And his team was either just blown out, he didn't play his full 36 minutes or however minutes he's averaging per game. So there are other variables and factors when he's not having a good game, or he'll just have an off shooting night where he's not going to be efficient because he's human. So I'm just tired of Tyler Herro not getting help now. And Bam Adebayo is a problem. Terry Rozier is a massive problem. And their defense was a problem tonight, which we'll get into. But I'm just overall frustrated. The Miami Heat blew a double-digit lead, which they've done so often. I don't know what the stat is. If anybody can in the chat, just let me know. How many double-digit leads has this Miami Heat team blown this season? And usually they blow double-digit leads in the third or fourth quarter, but they blew that. Actually, they did blow it, I think, in the third quarter. It could have been, because they were up by 12 at halftime. So they did blow it in the third quarter again. But the Miami Heat came out hot on offense in this game and scored 38 points, but their defense was also shit, and the Lakers scored 34 points. So they were hitting a ton of threes. Tyler Herro was, I think, 4 for 4 in that first quarter, had 16 points in the first quarter, and at one point he was 7 for 7, 5 for 5 from 3, 3 for 3 from the line, and he was just on fire, carrying this Miami Heat team, again, offensively, all game long. And unfortunately, the Miami Heat's defense was lacking the whole game because they allowed the Lakers to score 34 points, unfortunately, as well. So it was only a 4-point game after the first quarter. Second quarter, the Miami Heat played well again. They were up 28-20 in that quarter, so they went to half up 12. They were up by 15 at one point in the game at most. But then Spo continued to play zone defense throughout the game and didn't adjust and go back to man-to-man when LeBron and Anthony Davis were picking apart that zone. And especially Anthony Davis literally was the key anchor to picking apart that zone and finishing in the paint and swinging the ball, moving the ball around, obviously, to wide open shooters. Max Christie was hitting threes. Rui Hachimura was hitting threes. Austin Reeves was hitting threes. Like, all the Lakers were capitalizing on the Miami Heat's poor zone defense. And I don't know why Spo continued and insisted to run that when you have Anthony Davis, one of the best power forward centers in the game, who can break a zone. There's only a few guys in the NBA that can actually break that zone in the key, like in that free throw line area. And that's Anthony Davis, who was a hub. And that was frustrating. Rotations too with Spo, we can get into that a little bit. He actually played Kalel and Bam for like 30 seconds together, which was interesting. And Kalel we'll talk about later. He had a really good game, and he's showing really good signs of growth, which I'm happy about, which we can take away outside of Tyler Herro playing amazing again and bidding for an all-star for the first season. We'll see if that even happens. It might be tough now that with Cade Cunningham, who's also been playing amazing basketball of late. But either way, turnovers were huge for the Miami Heat. That was another thing as well that killed them. They had 19 turnovers, which was one of the worst turnover games of the season for the Miami Heat. So 19 turnovers for the Heat, 6 for the Lakers. That right there, my friend, is ball game because the Miami Heat actually out rebounded the Lakers. And when the Miami Heat out rebound a team, they typically win. They out rebounded the Heat or the Lakers 37-34. But those extra 13 turnovers led to how many extra shots did they have? 17 extra shots. So the Miami Heat shot really well from the field. They shot better than the Lakers, 53% from the field. Lakers shot 52%, but the Heat were 39 for 73. Lakers were 47 for 90. So those turnovers absolutely killed the Miami Heat. We even shot better than them from three. We were 16 for 36, which is 44%. They were 13 for 34, which is 38%, which is good. They shot really well too. Free throws, we had more free throws and shot better. This game is frustrating now that I'm looking at the box score. The Heat shot 14 for 15 from the line, 93%. The Lakers were 10 for 14, 71%. Yeah, that's just atrocious that the Miami Heat shot this well as a team and they still lost by 9 points, which is just embarrassing. So, let's just go through the box score real quick on the Miami side. So Tyler Herro had himself a game, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 12 for 18. God, how many of these games are we going to say we blew a Tyler Herro game where he scored 40, where he scored 34, where he did this, where he did that? It's too many times. This team is so mediocre, especially without Jimmy Butler. But he was 7 for 12 from 3. Spectacular. 3 for 3 from the line. He only got to the free throw line 3 times all in the first half. That needs to change. We need someone who can get to the free throw line in the clutch who can slow the game down. We have no one that can do that without Jimmy Butler now. He had 7 turnovers. So the only knock on Tyler is he had 7 turnovers, but who gives a shit? Because he was getting blitzed and double teamed so often. Like, I understand that. And he had to also focus on offense and shoot 18 shots because no one else besides Bam or Highsmith, took double-digit shots, which is unreal. Haywood Highsmith took the second most shots. Let that sink in. You're going to lose every time if Haywood's shooting the second most shots. So, yeah, kudos to Tyler. Bam, just non-existent, it felt like. He was a minus 10. I mean, everybody was a minus something. Tyler was a minus 10. But Bam, only 10 points, 4 rebounds, unacceptable. Only 4 rebounds. Come on, Bam. 5 assists, 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 3 for 4 from the line, 3 turnovers, 1 steal. Jimmy Butler's out. We know you're not an elite offensive player. That's not your game. You came in raw. You developed your skill set. You were able to eventually get a mid-range game, improve on your free throws, started to spread the floor in the preseason and in the Olympics, showing that you're somewhat capable of hitting the three. And you're only taking 7 shots in a game where you're our captain. No more Jimmy Butler. This is your team and Tyler's team. We need you to be the second best player on this team after Tyler Herro, because Tyler Herro is clearly the best player on this team right now and our number one option. And you shoot 7 shots. Unacceptable. Haywood Highsmith, kudos to him. He is our heart and soul on defense now. He is a great defender, point of attack defender, and he's undersized. Spo loves playing undersized folks. So he was guarding Anthony Davis or Rui Hachimura throughout the night, which is unfortunate, but He had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from three. He had 2 blocks. So kudos to him. Hawkes, kind of a quiet game, but he's improving slowly but surely, obviously, in this after the slump. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 for 7 from the field, 2 for 4 from three. His 3-point shooting has improved a lot since he's become a starter, so I'm happy about that. He had 1 steal, 1 turnover. Um, Terry Rozier, just get him off this team. Like, I don't think he has any trade value. We're shopping him around. We're trying to showcase him, and he's showing that he's shit. He had 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3 from three, 1 turnover. He is, I think, 5 for his not last 57 from three, which is like 17%, which is just unbelievable. He's killing us. He's doing nothing. He is our starting point guard, and he's averaging like 2.5 assists per game, which is terrible at this point. So he is not providing any value offensively, defensively. Like, I don't know why he's still starting. And we can no longer showcase him. We should bench him. He should not be in the rotation anymore. And we should just leverage him next year as an expiring contract when his $22 million will be coming off the books next season. Trade him at the trade deadline or let him walk away and he'll be an expiring contract. That's all I have to say about Terry Rozier. Nico, off the bench, another good game for Nico. He played a lot better, bounced back after not playing well against Clippers. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, baby. His playmaking is improving as he's the primary ball handler off the bench. 4 for 7 from the field, 2 for 3 from three, 2 for 2 for the line. He had 1 block. Nico was great. Duncan, man, just struggling off the bench. Like, we need him to start next to Bam. Like, he plays better with Bam. Like, that is obvious, Spo. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 for 4 from three, 2 for 7. Burks had 8 points. He was solid off the bench, 3 for 3, 2 for 2 from three. Kel'el Ware, only 18 minutes. You only played him 18 minutes in a game where the Lakers have LeBron, 6'8", Anthony Davis, 6'11", Rui Hachimura, 6'9", and who do they have off the bench? Jackson Hayes, also tall, um, who played pretty well in his limited minutes. And you only played Kalel 18 minutes when he was showcasing a good motor in that first quarter. He came in and he looked really good. Him and Jovic continued to develop that chemistry. He had a couple lobs to Kalel Ware off the bench. Kalel, 18 minutes, 8 points, 11 boards, 2 assists. So wait, Bam played 31 minutes, got 4 rebounds. Kalel played 18 and got 11. Like, that's a problem. Kalel also had 2 blocks, no turnovers. He looked, again, really good. He was rebounding with 2 hands. He was boxing out. He was hustling. He was in the dunker spot, getting those oops from Jovic. He had a nice little turnaround, kind of fadeaway baseline jumper as well. So he's showing that touch. He didn't hit a three, even though he's been killing it from three of late. And he just looked really good out there. He looked confident. He looks like the game is slowing down for him a little bit. He understands his role. He's not trying too much. He's not chucking up shots, and he's screening. He's playing the pick and roll, and I appreciate that. And I think he needs to play more, obviously, now. So that's on Spo. Another issue is Spo, again, not playing Kel'el Ware and Bam together and trying to experiment when you have nothing to freaking lose. When this Miami Heat team is mediocre, our season is going to be over now that Jimmy Butler, our best player, is out, or Tyler Herro, I should say, is our best player because he actually didn't quit on the team. But looking at the standings, the Heat were 3 games above 500 a few days ago. The Heat are now 20-19, so the trend continues. Every time they go up to 3 games above 500, they ended up losing 1 or 3 games in a row. And they're 20-19. They lost 2 in a row. They're the 9th seed in the East now. So Hawks are 8th, Pistons are 7th, Pacers are 6th, Magic are 5th, Bucks are 4th. All these teams that have been struggling are now leapfrogging the Miami Heat. And if the Miami Heat do not win and make it to the playoffs, we have 2 first-round picks that are going to be unprotected that we're going to have to give to Charlotte and OKC. And if they're unprotected, and next season the Miami Heat are worse for some reason, or if Bam gets hurt, Tyler gets hurt, and we become a Raptors Hornets type team where we're winning only 10, 12, 15 games, instead of getting like a top 5 guaranteed pick, the Hornets will get that or the Thunder will get that. And that will be detrimental for this team, their future and their ability to rebuild. So we have to make the playoffs. If we make the playoffs, then we give the OKC Thunder our protected first round pick this season. And then we would give a protected pick to the Hornets so that if we do, not get anything for Jimmy Butler and, we miss the play in for some reason next year, then we can give the Hornets our pick will be protected actually. So we might not have to give our pick. Anyway, I'm just super frustrated. I hate the Lakers and this Miami team is mediocre. It is what it is. And the biggest thing here now is what's going to happen with Jimmy Butler when he meets with Mickey Harrison. I believe he's meeting with him today or tomorrow before the Nuggets game. Jimmy Butler's suspension is now over. He is eligible to be back with this team. Is he going to be back with this team? Are we going to suspend him further? Are we going to just tell him to stay away and we're not going to let you play, but we're going to pay you? Are we going to trade him before this game tomorrow? Who the hell knows? We'll see. Should be an interesting time on Twitter. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.